Okay, because we're going into training camp, there's a lot of storylines going on that I'm not going to do just one video on. So let's just try to get them all together, shall we? Lou Lamoriello was interviewed about Tavares leaving, and he made a comment that I think's going to end up getting a lot of press, but he's right. They asked him about how he's preparing for the team without Tavares, and he's like, whatever. And he basically said, we mentioned John once. We're not worried about it. All we can do is go with what we have. And it's not like they won championships when John was there, anyways. He's right. The Islanders as a team never got it together, which is part of the reason that Tavares left. Yes, he wanted to play for Toronto. He cuddled with his blanket as a kid. I get it. But honestly, if the Islanders had just won a Stanley Cup, he's probably staying with the Islanders. You might have given him a bit of a discount to stay there. The fact the team has been mediocre to bad almost the entire time he's there is why he's gone. So Lou's right, but it's gonna get framed. I guarantee you're gonna see it get framed totally differently. The Senators are reportedly wanting to keep Stone and Duchesne. This is from Bruce Garriock of the Ottawa. I'm trying to think of the name of the paper. I want to say Ottawa Citizen, but I don't think so. Anyways, Bruce Garriock's reporting the Senators want to keep Stone and Duchesne, meaning Carlson's gone. And all the rumors now are Carlson will probably be gone this week. That by either the end of this week or the start of next week, Erik Karlsson's going to get traded. So go ahead, get all excited, let's go. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Here we go. And then it won't. And then we'll be like, all right, well, it'll be trade deadline. I honestly, you can't leave this thing sitting out there. You can't. It's not fair to Karlsson to put him on the ice and have him wearing a Senators jersey as captain when everybody knows damn well you're on your way out. This is why Montreal traded Pacioretty. And kudos to them for getting it done when they did. Now it's Ottawa's turn. Tyler Seguin is reportedly close to an extension with the Dallas Stars. I haven't heard anything about numbers, just that the two have sat down and talked it out. Clearly, Seguin coming out publicly and going, I'm not very happy right now, might have fired up Jim Nill, or maybe, Nill didn't think it was a big deal and goes, oh, yeah, if he's upset, we want to sit down and talk to him. So if that gets done, that's one UFA off the board. Tortorella got a 2-year extension with the Columbus Blue Jackets today. So every time I see something about Tortorella, I want to, message Larry Brooks. What do you think of this extension? And honestly, Tortorella's earned it. He is the first coach of a Columbus Blue Jackets team that actually has some consistency year over year. And Jarmo Kekalainen deserves a ton of respect for that as well. Honestly, the Columbus has done a good job of putting together a good organization. Now it's a matter of getting those wins in the playoffs. The Montreal Canadiens, this made news yesterday. Hockey Night in Canada tweeted this out, that ad prices have plummeted for Montreal Canadiens games in Quebec. 30-second ad, which would have been $7,000 last year, now costs you about $5,000. So prices have dropped a lot. And this is why when people say anything about, a full rebuild in Canadian cities, this is the kind of thing I look at and I say, full-on rebuilds can be tough. And in Montreal's case, it's not a rebuild, it's a retool. The idea being they can get right back. And one bad year, and you see ad prices plummet, which puts pressure on everybody. Jordan Schmaltz signed an extension with St. Louis. I was asked to talk about Sergei Shumakov, who signed with Washington. I've been asked for a week, so I'll do it now. Unheralded for the most part. Pursued once it was obvious he wanted to come over to the NHL by a number of teams. The Capitals pick him up. In his favor is the fact that he's Russian. He should have some natural chemistry with some of the guys on the team. Working against him, because it's an entry-level contract, they can send him to the minors if he doesn't make the team. I don't perceive him to be like a top 6 forward. I don't think he's bumping anybody out of jobs necessarily. But Shumakov is a guy that's does he make the team? Maybe. Is he going to play for the Capitals at all this year? Probably. It's a 1-year deal, so there's no risk for him or for the team. And finally, William Nylander. So training camp's opening up. Austin Matthews says he expects Nylander to be at camp, but I haven't heard anything about any progress yet on a contract, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mentioned not that long ago that Alex Pietrangelo was a holdout and wasn't going to be at the St. Louis Blues camp, and that wasn't that long ago. And then he signs and he plays with them. And you know, it's funny how quickly these things can turn around. So there's nothing yet on Nylander. I'm mentioning this because you know, I know Leaf fans may be getting a little bit anxious, and this is kind of what I was talking about when you signed Tavares, and I said it's going to be hard to keep that group together, and Leaf fans just jumped on it like, oh no, we won't have a problem, but you have all these players, these individuals that have this idea of what they're worth, and you can't tell from one player to the next what they're going to demand. It's not the same as NHL 19 where they're all going to demand the same if they're at the same point. Nylander might be saying, "Hey, I'm worth about 7 or 7.5 million." Nylander may be sitting there saying, "I want a 6-year deal," and the Leafs could be offering him 3. We don't know. And with this happening with Nylander, that could happen with Marner, and it could happen with Matthews too. I think they get Matthews done faster than anybody else because I think they understand with Matthews what they've got and how important it is that they keep him. But so there you go. Just some news and notes from today, just to get them out of the way because there's no demand really for a full length video on any of these topics. But I thought I'd throw them all into one video for you guys. So there you go. Let me know in the comments section below what you guys think about any of these topics. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.